Yeah, I'm sorry, I left my horse and cart like 120 years ago.
You are super well behaved.
Morning everyone. Welcome to historic Talbot. We're doing a little mission around this old school town today. I wanted to get here bright and early, beat the rush. It's really nice here in the morning, man. And to be honest, I feel like I'm the only person here. I probably am. We've got this whole little street to ourselves. Let's get after it and see what we can find. Talbot was initially a gold mining town, so it's all based on the gold rush. It's pretty common. Look at this building here. These are a cracker, mate. They've got that, they've really not been touched, to be honest. Like, whatever, they give them a coat of paint every now and then, but even that is starting to crack off of it. But Talbot was, it was built on gold. Like all these gold rush towns, they were built on gold. But prior to that, this district was actually found in 1838 or 1836, somewhere around there, by Major Mitchell. Major Mitchell was like a horseback guy. He toured a lot of these areas throughout Victoria, and he found a lot of key points, key places that he thought would be good for grazing, for farming, you know, for cattle. And when he got back to Sydney and told everyone about this district that he'd found, it only took about 5 to 10 years for a flock of people, not a lot, but a small flock of people to come here and start grazing sheep. It was like in the 1840s when this was going down, but none of this was happening. None of this street was happening at that stage. It was when they first found gold. Now, when a farmer finds gold at those times, you've got to be real careful because so many birds. That's cool as. When you find gold back in those days, you've got to be super, super careful because you can get like arrested for prospecting without a license, and they were always really frightened to sort of mention it. And not only that, they didn't want to get swamped with a whole bunch of people coming here looking for it as well. So they knew it existed, but it was first noted like 1851 that they found gold in central Victoria, but it was going on a long time before that, they reckon. But nonetheless, it was that pre-1851 gold rush that got people seated right here. And they reckon that this street was all founded on it. It's done up the way that it was. Look at this. What an absolute cracker. Let's get back and have a look at this. Look at this. Bank of Australasia. There was several banks here, all again because of gold. They all come here because with gold keeping means gold sales, means more clients, more money. Banks are still the same, nothing's changed. They just want your money. So of course they flock to where the money is, they flock to where people are coming across these massive nuggets, and yeah, this is how these all come about. I don't know how many banks are left standing. Well, there's another one here, look. Check this out, man. The London Chartered Bank, established 1857. This thing's a masterpiece. This thing is a masterpiece. It's been, it has definitely been superbly restored. Beautiful black paint, gold embossing on it. It's it's beautiful. I'd say people, a lot of these are private residences now, would you believe? It's not super expensive here yet. It's coming, but yeah, no, not yet. This bank's a real masterpiece. That's just what I reckon. And then with the myriad of little shops and stuff that they got going on here, it's a real cracker. Real cracker. This old bank's bloody beautiful, mate. Look at it. This looks like it would have been an old bakery or something across the street. You really get a sense like you're walking back in time, you know, walking down these old streets. You just see the horse and carts blowing through. The old buildings. It's beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful.
This is originally known as Goodmans Hotel.
It's significant. It's extremely significant because they state that in 1855, behind this very building was where the gold rush began. So they found some gold out back here. And of course, that's what started this flock of people coming. It was really when the news broke, behind this very building. The sign out front says that it was established in 1870, but we know better because 1855 was
when a hotel was already established on this site.
It was later called, I think they called it the Phoenix or something later on. It is called the Phoenix Hotel, but the original hotel was destroyed by fire. So yeah, the original hotel was destroyed by fire. This was its replacement. That's probably what they mean by 1870. This building was established 1870. Prior to that, 1855 was when it first went down. They reckon that out the back of this joint, there was a creek out there and they found nuggets at 60 ounce, 40 ounce, 38 ounce. They say that by 1864, that this little town here had a courthouse, had 7 schools, a street full of good shops, 2 breweries, churches, 2 soap and candle factories, 16 hotels. Can you believe that? 16 hotels. Coach services and general carriers and a number of crushers for smashing up all the rock out of the mines. What a spectacle coming through here on horse and cart. Back then. So the year 1859 saw what they called the Scandinavian Rush. So that was after they found the gold out the back of the hotel over here. And the Scandinavian Rush is what this street is named after, Scandinavian Crescent. There's actually 2. The main drag here is called Scandinavian Crescent, and out the back that runs exactly along in line with it, there's a smaller street, and they call that something Scandinavian as well. But we're going to go out there and have a look because, well, you know, some of the cool stuff's out the back. Actually, I'll tell you what, we're going to go there right now and have a look. Come with me, let's go out the back. We go out this little side street here. Yeah, so the main drag's called Scandinavian Crescent, and then the little dirt one out the back here is called Scandinavian Lane. Unsealed, still. You can still see the old bluestone sidewalk. I'm not sure what we'll see out here. So far I'm seeing garbage. Didn't really want to see that. Look at the backs of the shops. Classic, mate. Look at this. Lions Commercial Hotel. What a masterpiece. Them big steel pin plates hanging out up the top there, stopping it from falling over. That's wild. I love that. original nostalgia. This to me just looks like a lane. Back in the day it might have been something, but really now it's just a, yeah, it's just a lane, to be honest with you. Not really much to see down here, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, I left my horse and cart like 120 years ago. But that's what that sort of reminds me of, them old school lanes. It's really like a ghost town, you know? Like, it's early, it's a weekend. But I mean, dude, there's nothing going on here. Talbot has a market every, I think they have that market like every month, the third Sunday in every month. And they reckon that that can draw, you know, a few thousand people. We might come back and check that out sometime. What do you reckon? We'll come back and we'll see the market. We'll come and buy some homemade apricot jam and pumpkin pie. Look at this building. What a masterpiece. Absolute masterpiece. This is a little antique shop, I think. With any luck, we might go in there later. I love the building. What a cracker. Some more charm across the road. Look at this joint. What is this? 1865, it's got smashed up there, top centre. It's got the old clock up there. Looks like Doc and Marty McFly have been fiddling around with their hands on it. It says it was used in 1860 as an Oddfellows Hall. I don't know what an Oddfellows, what is that? What's an Oddfellows Hall? But it, then it says like in like 1865 it was built, it was not built, but bought by council and used as a town hall. So there you go. Who knows who'd own it now? I don't think it's a council looking thing now. Look at the brickwork up the side of it. That's crazy. Across the road we've got this little, we're going to take a look. It says it's the Soldiers Memorial Park. This plaque was erected by the Talbot RSL Women's Auxiliary to honour those who served and died in the service of their country, lest we forget. There's a big one out the back. What's this one about? I'm more interested who built it, to be honest. Chambers and Clutton, Melbourne. Never heard of them. What's this say? Memory of Captain Robert Westrop Salmon. 1st Victorian Contingent Staff Australian Regiment who died on service at Naunport, South Africa in 1900. Must have been somebody important to the town anyway. That's cool, man. It's super original too. Look at the, does anyone know how they do this on the bluestone? This is very, very common. See this superb edging? And it always has like these lines in it. Nowadays you'd blame a CNC machine or something, but this stuff is on like all the churches, any foundation stones. It is so common. Anything that's more than 100 years old has this edging. I would love to know how they did that. So if someone knows, smack it in the comments, please. I'd love to know more about that, that original bluestone carving, or how'd they do that? That intrigues me. Scooting up the side streets, you see these old, I like this stuff. Like, what did they didn't go to that. This was like an entrance to something pretty grand at some point, maybe a hotel or some building or something. It says that back in the day, like, and commonly so, back in the day, a lot of buildings burnt to the ground, mate. Plain and simple, they burnt down, like the Phoenix Hotel we were looking at earlier. The original building burnt to the ground. I don't know why that was. Well, it's common sense to tell you why that was. Everything was lit by oil burners and oil lamps, and bit of a death sentence for a building left unattended for a few minutes. They go up in flames. So what have we got here? It says the Big Fig. That's a cafe. It's an original building, but it's a cafe. Beautiful, look at this. If the walls could talk, hey? What's it say? It says the former Camp Hotel. It says it traded as a hotel for about 7 years until purchased by William Crooks on the 26th of August 1876 for £650. I'll double it. I'll give you £1,300. Sounds like a bargain. £650 back then would have been, you would have been loaded to be doing that, mate. I'm telling you, there's something up here I just noticed. We're going for a walk. Courthouse Hotel. I've had a meal in there. It's now a community centre, public library or something, it says. Looks like a courthouse to me. Maybe I'm wrong. What's this say? Like an old map or something of whatever's going on here. Somebody's painted. I like this building though. This is cool, mate. What's out there?
Ah, just do it. You were going to anyway.
Same again, it's got that bluestone base I was asking about. See what I mean, that edging? How do they do that, mate? It's on everything. That looks more like a courthouse to me. I just saw something else. Ah, mate, I'm up for a walk this morning, I tell you. I feel like I've been walking all day. I just saw a couple of steeples sticking up down here. Oh, there's more across the road. I don't even know where I am anymore. Car's back miles that way. Wow. Look at this one. That's wild. Wow. That's crazy. How cool is this one? What a classic. Wow. It looks like they've had an attempt at starting to build it. They've added onto the back of it with like fibrous cement sheet and very cheap building materials. I don't know how they got a permit for that. Probably been in Talbot, they could have got that pretty easy, but it's a bit of a mess out the back. The whole building's a bit of a mess, but dude, it's got some wild character, especially the front. It's very deserted looking, to be honest with you. It's cool. It's definitely cool. How's the old door on the front? I reckon if I give this a decent hip and shoulder, I'd go straight through that, and I'm pretty Pretty scrawny. Battle of the Churches. Directly across the street, Primitive Methodist Church, 1870. What's the deal with that? Are they all in competition with each other back then or what? Now it's the Arts and Historical Museum, it says. But I'm not here for all that. Another church right beside it. Wow. That would have been a bit weird back in the day, wouldn't it? Would have been like, well, I'm going to church. Then your buddies all go to that church and I'm going to this one and we'll all go to the pub afterwards and have a beer. Look at this architecture. This is not a church. It says it's a school. Dunnock. D-U-N-A-C-H. Dunnock School, it says. There's an old school picture of it here. Look at this. That's cool. Around the year 1900. It opened in 1874 with 155 registered students. Huh. If the walls could talk, eh? Amherst Hospital, isolation hut. Yuck. I know a little bit about this. This has been bought here. This was not originally here. Look in there. They use these to isolate patients with like typhoid, diphtheria, and the flu. And they did all that before vaccines. And they're well ventilated because that was the common treatment back in the day. So like in, you know, gold rush times, if you got any of that stuff, you're going to die, mate. Rest assured. Even the flu was killed. It still kills people now. But in those times, it was a very, very, very serious death sentence. And yeah, those little isolation huts, they were really the only method to try to treat it. Yuck. Imagine sitting in that little tomb until you died. Yeah, them days, hey, wowzers. This whole town sort of screams history. Look at this house hiding up in here. Look. I don't really want to put his private house on blast, but that's crazy. Look at the porch. I love it. Yeah, if the walls could talk sometimes, it gets you thinking, doesn't it? Back in them days, mate. Post office has changed a little bit. Gas bottles. How convenient would that have been back in the day? Coffee van, beautiful. Marty McFly's clock up there on the wall still. Down here in the back blocks, looking out the backside of town. That's where the real history sort of lies. The dogs over the road here don't like me. They're going crazy. Then they got this wild church which looks like it's been repurposed as a house. Have a look. It has got a little placard on it, but I don't want to go over there snooping because I reckon it's a house now. A lot of them joints, they get, you know that church thing, how they sell them and then people turn them into a house. So it's probably a private residence. You can see there's cars and stuff in the driveway. That'll be someone's house. They're probably in there asleep. I come up, sticky beacon in the windows like a moron. So I'm not going to do that. We get to the edge of town here. Look at this. There's the thoroughfare over there with the cars rolling by. Got some sheep grazing. That's what Major Mitchell first noted the landscape for, was the sheep grazing. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Like that's a long, if he come from, well it said, I don't know much about Major Mitchell, but it said something about he came from Sydney. So if he came from Sydney all the way down here to try and pinpoint some grass flatland for raising some sheep, seems a bit bizarre to me. Scandinavian Crescent there. That's the main street where we were earlier. Beautiful swimming pool. Look, what a masterpiece. I don't know about going swimming in there at the minute, man. It looks like they've probably got piranhas growing. We don't have piranhas in Australia. Anywhere. I want to check the back lane. And the reason that I want to check this back lane is because it goes out the back, well, it goes out the back side of the shops. And we might get a better look at some of the true architecture hiding out the back. So let's just see. A bit of vacant paddock here. Vacant paddock. Coming up to the back side of some of the stalls. Don't worry, I'm not going to be sticking the camera over into people's backyards, but it is the backside of the main street, which is supposed to be shops. We come to this little Y junction. Oh, if the walls could talk, mate. That's like a, I don't know, it's like a bit of a dead end. Now I'm back to where I sort of started. Could you imagine the grandness of a structure like this back in the day? Pulling up in your little horse and cart. That would have been like pulling up to a skyscraper back then. I love it. Starting to come back up on Main Street now. And it's, I've been walking around for some time. And let me tell you, it's still, look at this. Still quiet. You love that about the country? I mean, there's never no hustle and bustle, you know. That's why people come here, mate. They, you know, they love the serenity of it. How's the school? State School number 954. I love it. I don't know what's going on with this steeple looking thing, but it's a work of art. Established 1869. It's got 1869 look, don't you agree? It's superbly kept to this day. It's still functional as a school by the looks of things. I'm not going to go in there today. It's fenced off, like they really don't want anyone in there, so I'm not going to go in there. Some of these old schools are really open, you know, the gates are open. It's like they invite people to come in out of hours, but I don't get that vibe from this one. I'm just going to show you from the outside, a little bit of the back. This is one of them settings where the kids would have been dropped off horse and cart, and they probably would have, I don't know, walked to school. They would have, back when kids were kids, you remember that? Even not that long ago, like things were different when I was at school. Back then in this time, mate, things would have been real different. Real different. Parents probably miners or seamstress or shopkeepers. That's if they were lucky. If they were unlucky, their parents were paupers. I wonder what it cost to go to school back then. Never thought of that. It's cool though. (1875) saw the train station be built. So if you could paint the picture back then without rail to connect the goldfields towns, really didn't have nothing going on. This was the main connection. Let's check out this old school train station, man. Beautiful brick building. Oh, what a masterpiece. Wow. Bit of a time capsule really, isn't it? Do you love it? Talbot. I had no idea that this was here. I'm generally pretty good with where things are. This is quite deserted and in quite a state of disrepair too, to be honest with you. Nothing. Yep, nothing again. Yeah, not much going on in there. There is some old school crane looking relic over there. I like it. I really like it. I think the train tracks are still used, to be honest. The train still runs. Obviously it's changed a little bit. But yeah, Maryborough, Clunes, Talbot, back to Ballarat. I believe all that train track still runs. So what we're looking at is not totally deserted. Whilst this platform may no longer be used, there is a newer one just up the road a little bit, like a few paces up. There's a new one just up here. Again, if the walls could talk, man, imagine pulling up, horse and cart getting delivered. You know, all the women in their big old dresses and stuff, men wearing top hats like true gents. And catch the train somewhere for the day, for work, for pleasure. It's all a bit reminiscent, really, isn't it? It's all very deserted around here, to be honest with you. I don't know what becomes of this stuff. I don't know who takes care of it. Being railway stuff, it's always going to be admired by people, but are they going to fund it is the question. So the edge of town has got this little cracker, and I just wanted to show you on the way past. Have a look at this. This is called Richmond House. I know that it was built in 1888. A fella by the name of William Phelan, P-H-E-L-A-N, Phelan or Felon. He was supposedly a timber merchant. 1888 was when it was built. 1985, it didn't quite last 100 years. It was burnt by a bushfire. You see that beam out the front? That's where the veranda mounted. So it did have a porch and everything on it, obviously had a roof. It was a bit of a masterpiece. But fire bowled it. And it's really not that long ago, 1985. A quick Google search shows one image of it when it was complete, although it looks probably more bland when it was complete than it does now. Aside from that, little's really known about this joint. It doesn't really go into any great detail. But back in the day, it would have been quite a mansion. The rumour had it was that it was a hotel, but it's not a hotel. It was a private house.
We had it rebuilt, and you can see it there, the plaque, in 2016. And I'll just play the last hymn that we've chosen to play for today.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That was beautiful.
Glad you enjoyed, but you can tell when I mentioned a beautiful tone.
Oh, it's a masterpiece.
So it's a beautiful little instrument, and I've been the organist here for about 10 years. I hope that the community, realise just what a gem they've got. The organs of the Ballarat goldfields, they've been up here and given a recital on it. And Sergio De Peri, he was the musical director of that particular event. And he said it's a little gem, which it is. Well, you heard it. It sounds beautiful.
Genuine Goldfields Church, ready for a Sunday morning service. How good's that? We even got a sample of the pipe organ. Can't ask for more than that. What a classic. How good was that? Old school church, baby. Look at that. Goldfields, pipe organ. What an absolute cracker, hey? Old Bluestone Church. Right here on the Goldfields, mate. Getting ready for their Sunday service. Anyway, we're moving on. Talbot Cemetery. But I hate to disappoint you, man. We're not going to cover that in today's video. You have to keep an eye out on the Reslok channel. I'm going to do a full coverage on this here cemetery in a future video. Sit tight. 11 a.m. Open. Let's have a peek. What do we got? All kinds of stuff in here.
Yeah, there's bronzes and Chinese things. And these, you don't ever see these. These are from the 1700s. To make those in the 1700s, I can't understand. In perfect condition, they sell for about $3,000 each.
Wow.
But all of them have got a bit of damage on them, but they still sell for $400 and $500.
What sort of age are they? They're like 1800.
No, they're from the 1700s. And to make china like that in the 1700s is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
All those little flowers and leaves and things.
So what are we looking for, guys? Postcards, books. Beautiful old fireplace in here. How's the building? Look at the work in this. What a masterpiece. Sorry about the flicker, I can't get rid of it. It's them LED globes. They hate cameras. And this, absolutely superb. Look at this. I'm told they added this in. It wasn't actually original, but they've added this in and it's quite fitting. How's the view back in the day like? Looking out on the main street. I can just sort of see the horse and cart pulling up there, dropping people off. It's a bloody grand building, let me tell you. Creepy hand if you're into creepy hands. So we're taking a look now at some accommodation, which we can have here. This is lovely. It's got a pool and everything. Oh, look at these. What a classic. This is superb. Wow. Guys, you need to get on this.
Yeah, well, and we had the barbecue and a rec room, you know, with foxtail in it. I mean...
And you cruise outside and look what you get. This would be awesome in summertime.
It is. It's fantastic in summertime.
A little Goldfields town with this little gem hiding off to the side. What a classic. What a classic. Here's the bluestone of the building, like the little antique shop here. What a gem. What a gem. How old's that tree? What a masterpiece.
It'll be over 100 years. There were 3 pubs on this block.
3 pubs on the block originally?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
They all seem to burn down from what I've read.
Yeah.
It seemed to be like a real bad luck thing. I don't know whether they were throwing too much whiskey around
Yeah,
or...
Probably was.
Yeah, David's had a couple of paint jobs even. How's the charm of the building though? Look at this. What a classic. I love it. I love it. See ya. Dudes, that sums up my tour of Talbot. If you hung out with me for this long, I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me for that long. But my closing note is this: if you ever get a shot at coming to Talbot, you should come, man. This town is like a little time capsule. There's some great people here. There's plenty to look at. You could easily spend a whole afternoon cruising around Talbot. Do it. Get on board with it. Come and see the goldfields, mate. Aside from that, I'm cold, so I'm getting out of here. And thanks for hanging out with me. Bye, everyone.